Mason reached the edge of town, just as the sun dipped below the horizon. Shadows stretched long between skeletal buildings and rusted-out cars. The silence was heavy, too heavy. He slipped through a broken fence, keeping low. The streets were littered with debris, torn backpacks, shattered glass, old blood. He moved carefully, stepping over the remnants of the world that used to be. His first stop was the old hardware store. Its windows had been smashed long ago, and the inside was a mess of toppled shelves. Still, he found a rusty can opener behind the counter, a small win. The grocery across the street was next. He approached cautiously, pausing at the door, then slipped inside. Darkness wrapped around him, pierced only by the faint beam of his flashlight. Shelves were mostly bare, just a few cans, some stale crackers, and a broken jar of pickles. He stuffed what he could into his pack, but a sound made him freeze. A metallic clink not far. Footsteps. Mason extinguished the flashlight and ducked behind a shelf, heart thudding in his ears. The footsteps grew louder, deliberate. Not a zombie, too controlled. A voice followed. "I saw your light. Come out." Mason didn't move. The voice was calm, too calm. "Not here to hurt you," the man said. "Just want to talk." Mason waited, muscles tense. Then, movement to his left. Someone else. A trap. He bolted. A figure lunged, grabbing his arm, but Mason twisted free, slashing with his machete. Not deep, but enough. The man cursed as Mason dashed out the back door, sprinting into the alley. Gunfire cracked behind him. A bullet sparked off a dumpster as Mason dove behind it. "Leave your bag, and we'll let you walk," someone shouted. Mason's lungs burned. He checked the street beyond. Clear. He ran. He zigzagged through alleyways until the sound of pursuit faded. Finally, he ducked into an old laundromat and barricaded the door with a washer. Breathing hard, he collapsed behind a row of machines. His arm throbbed, a scrape from the struggle, nothing deep. He opened the can of beans with shaky hands and ate in silence, listening. No more footsteps, no more voices, so this was the town. He leaned back against the cold metal and looked up at the cracked ceiling. Supplies were here, but so were predators. Not the dead kind, the kind that wore smiles and carried guns. He couldn't stay long. Tomorrow he'd grab what he could and move on. Further north, maybe. He didn't know what was waiting out there. But he knew what stayed behind. People who hunted their own. And Mason didn't plan on being the hunted.